the indictment. And they put up over his head the accusation written against him. This is Jesus, the King of the Jews. Matthew 27, verse 37. It's not a light matter to condemn a prisoner to death. In our own world, a death sentence can take many years to implement. Appeals are filed, evidence re-examined, and every stone is turned over to be sure that the person convicted of a capital crime is actually guilty. In Jesus' day, if the court landed on a guilty verdict in a capital case, they had to take a full day off and then come back and vote again. If you had previously voted for acquittal, you could not change your mind. You could only change if you had previously voted guilty. Every precaution was taken to be sure that severe penalties were not imposed accidentally or maliciously. If you had a personal stake in the case, you were not allowed to join in the proceedings. And the purpose of the court was not to convict. The court was required to find, if possible, a reason for acquittal. Even voluntary confession by the accused was not enough to convict. They had to have the testimony of at least 2 independent witnesses to the same act. A false witness, when discovered, would suffer the fate he was trying to impose on the accused. The court was stacked in your favor. If you were found guilty of a capital crime and sentenced to death, the odds were exceptionally good that you were, indeed, blameworthy. Of course, in the case of Jesus, it was a sham trial. They broke nearly every rule they had. The witnesses, false. The evidence, rigged. The proceedings were illegitimate and illegal. Even before the arrest, they knew what the result would be. That is why the sign above Jesus' head is so telling. He was supposedly guilty of a capital crime, but the sign was noticeably devoid of any substance. All they could say was King of the Jews. And ironically, that happened to be true. Even the sign intended to mock was an unwitting declaration that he really is a lamb without blemish and spot. What was intended as an indictment of Jesus proved an indictment of us. It was not God's crime that led to his execution. It was our sin, and our sin alone. Oh, what love!